the Pig and Whistle Tales from Azeroth. As always here at the Pig and Whistle Inn in Stormwind, I go through a variety of subjects with regards to World of Warcraft. So grab a bottle or a pint, sit back and enjoy. And I do want to say thank you very much to Tony for the music that has been provided to Pig and Whistle. It's absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it, and be sure to check out all of the stuff that he does. He does loads of covers on many different things, ranging from World of Warcraft to Witcher series and stuff like that, and they're all amazing. So be sure to check out. That link is in the description. But that is the Pig and Whistle theme from in-game, and I couldn't have been happier to reach out to Tony and to have his permission to use that on this podcast. And it will be used from here on out, and I hope you all enjoy it as much as I do. But we're going to be doing... I couldn't even say that one. We're going to be doing something a little bit different this week. It's sort of a Q&A. So these are questions that have been sent in to me from the viewers, from the listeners, and it's very general things that I can, in the future, go into more detailed ideas or more detailed questions. Stuff to do with just specific dungeons, specific raids, maybe specific, classes in PvP, stuff like that. And I'm looking to integrate this into upcoming podcasts as well, such as maybe a few questions in each podcast, like I do with the weekly thing. Speaking of the weekly stuff, it is we still haven't done that, so I will do that right now. The world boss for this week is Valinor and Morgath. So Valinor being the world boss in Bastion, the big giant centurion, as it were. The brawl for this week is Cooking Impossible. I believe you just bring some food to a cookpot and you can kill Horde to steal their ingredients and stuff like that. It's quite fun, it's quite hectic, and you can do some fun stuff as a caster, to be honest. I remember it. And the bonus for this week is Pet Battle. So you gain, I think, 50% increase to pet experience when doing pet battles and stuff like that. So be sure to do that. And we're just all sort of waiting on that Legion time walking next week, aren't we? It's very close. We can all feel it. That Mage Tower reopening. Legion time walking mythic dungeons. Oh, it's gonna be good. But let's start off with the very first Q&A. This is like I said, these were sent in by the listeners, and these obviously are questions that relate to the show, myself, WoW as a whole and stuff like that. But it will be just to sort of get to know me a little bit more with some of the questions that I've picked out. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it. So the first question we have is, when did I start playing WoW? I mentioned this, I think, in a couple of podcasts, but not to a great degree. So I started playing in Wrath of the Lich King. I am what is referred to as a Wrath baby, because there was an influx of WoW players in Wrath, I guess. I think I started early Wrath, late Burning Crusade, but Wrath is what I ideally remember, to be honest. I don't remember being in Burning Crusade when it was current content. I remember, leveling in Northrend, going to Boreen Tundra, moving on to Dragonblight and stuff like that. So I started playing in WoW, and I didn't start by myself. So I made a character along with my dad, because I don't even remember, 8 to 10 at the time, and I didn't quite, have the skills that I do now with computer games and stuff like that, just gaming in general. So I made a character and I called it by my nickname, and yeah, we still have that character. But my first ever character that I had solo, I will say, and that I looked after, as it were, was a druid. And that druid was called Perfecto, literally just perfect, and then an O. The name wasn't good. I'm not saying that I'm good with that, but that was obviously changed. I changed the name to Yashara, I believe, and that is the druid that I currently play today. That is the name that I currently use on every druid that I can. And yeah, this has been my character, and this character has been with me ever since I can remember, since Wrath of the Lich King and going forward. I have something like 150-ish days game time on it. Some people might think that's a lot. Some people might think that's pathetic. I think it's a fair amount, to be honest. I think it's a fair amount. If you put that into perspective, that's almost half a year. Just, yeah, that's insane. Actually, thinking about it like that is quite insane. So that was my first character. That's the first one that I remember getting to level 80 and stuff like that. And yeah, that's when I started playing WoW. And this actually leads quite well into the next question, is what was the first sort of memory that I have of WoW? And they do come from my druid, these memories. So what the first memories, I can't remember them in full, but I can remember like sort of parts of them. So I remember on my druid killing the Lich King on heroic, I believe. And this was with my sister, and it was quite fun. It was heroic Lich King, current content at the time. I was having to message her telling her what to do and stuff like that. It was kind of hectic. She had no clue what she was doing, I'm guessing. But, it was good fun. I remember that. I remember doing arenas on my druid. I remember doing one specific arena that was against 2 Blood Death Knights. And Blood Death Knights, if you didn't know at the time, were insane. They were really tanky, and they dealt a lot of damage. They were absolutely insane. But druids at the same time were also very good. They had quite good off heals. They had very good damage as well. They really held their own against Death Knights. And it was 2 feral druids versus 2 Blood Death Knights. And our strategy, I've said this in a couple of podcasts as well, was I would send my sister in, and the idea was we would have to have killed something before they killed her. And if it went down to a 1v1, it went down to a 1v1, nothing else that can be done about it. But yeah, she was just cannon fodder. That was our strat. That was our, foolproof strat that worked, I'd say, most of the time. I'd say it was absolutely flawless. Other people might think that it's, pretty bad, but I thought it was absolutely quality, that strategy. And these are the 2 main ones that I can think of at the moment. Or the earliest memories that I have of WoW. Again, I remember making the very first character, not my very first, but the one that I made with my dad. I remember them 2 events, and that's about it, I think. I don't actually remember much else, which is really strange. My memory isn't great. It doesn't serve me well at the best of times, I will say that. But I would have thought that I'd have a few more memories from Wrath of the Lich King, to be honest with you. I have a couple from Pandaria. I have a couple from Legion. Yeah, but I don't really have much of a memory, to be honest, of earlier memories anyway. The next question is, what do I usually do in WoW? Now, this one depends. It really does depend on how I feel. So, recently, I have liked leveling in TBC and Season of Mastery. I think it's very calming. I think it's very relaxing just to do that. Just late at night, 1 a.m, 2 a.m. or whatever, I'll just sit on WoW. Barely anyone will be on. I can just freely roam about the world, and kill mobs, do my quests, and come off like an hour later or something. It's very relaxing. During the day, I'll look to do sort of arenas and battlegrounds and, just any sort of current content in retail mainly. I've actually been enjoying battlegrounds a lot more on retail. I don't know how to explain it, to be honest. I've always found battlegrounds in retail a bit dull and boring, but I have never really understood why. But I've recently started playing my warrior, and this is a massive change to what I usually play. I usually play casters, boomkin, stuff like that. And it's a massive change, and it's quite fun just to get in there and absolutely zug. It's absolutely amazing, and in Battlegrounds you have more leeway to do that because you can just jump into a pack and hope that, there's a healer healing you, and you're looking at you're getting all of their attention and stuff like that, and you're cleaving them down. It's absolutely amazing, and I find it quite fun. But just in terms of, I think I've enjoyed it more because of the amount of honor that it gives, and I've been in desperate need of honor to upgrade my gear and stuff like that in retail, to upgrade my warrior and stuff like that. So I think it's one of them things that I have to do it, but I feel like it isn't a chore, which is something that's quite rare in WoW, I think, because a lot of stuff in Burning Crusade and Season of Mastery is quite a chore. You have to really grind at it, whether it be gearing or something like that. Whereas this, you can jump in, have some fun, get some free honor. It'll take you like 2 battlegrounds to upgrade some pieces of gear. It's honestly not that bad, in all honesty. I mean, I played a Outrek Valley tonight on stream that went on for 30 to 40 minutes. It was like classic AV. It was like I was in classic Outrek Valley. I did Outrek Valley in WoW Classic about a year or so ago, grinding honor ranks, and I hated it. But I spent about 30 to 40 minutes in this Outrek Valley, the exact same things that we were doing in WoW Classic, but I was enjoying it, and I don't get why. I think it's mainly because there's a lot more things happening in retail. You've got covenants being used, you've got multiple mobilities being used, you've got like heroic leap for warriors, you've got druids pinging about with night phase soul shapes and dashes, you've got monks TPing in and out, you've got everything like that. And then in classic you've got a blizzard. That's just a blizzard at a choke. If you walk into this blizzard, everyone will look at you and you will die. It's very simple. So I think it's a lot more hectic, and I think that's what I sort of enjoy about it more. And yeah, I couldn't explain it. I got to the end, and I was like, this is really strange, because I was just enjoying it. It might be something to do with the reinforcements. So in retail, Outrek Valley, you have a reinforcements, which will end the game when it reaches 0. In Classic, you could be in there for 2 hours plus. 2 hours was quite common. You could be in there for 5 hours, 6 hours, and it just wouldn't be fun. So I think knowing that there was an end actually made me just enjoy it more. And that's all it needed in Classic, I think, like a reinforcement thing. But that's very much going against the book. That's a lot of changes, to be honest. So I don't think that would ever happen. But, I usually do many different things in WoW. It depends on how I feel. But at the moment, I've been doing some leveling on stream at night, just during the night, just from midnight onwards, for a couple hours or something. It's very chilled, very relaxed. I'll do some battlegrounds in the meantime. We're on the boomkin, on the warrior, on whatever class I feel like. I recently leveled a monk as well to learn the class, to learn and get back into healing on Mistweaver, because I enjoyed Mistweaver like an expansion 2 ago, and I want to get back into it. It's very fun mobility wise and stuff like that. So yeah, I do a whole load of things on WoW, and I do stream it. So be sure to check it out. It is obviously in the link, the description. The link is in the description if you want to check out the Twitch channel and stuff like that. But it will usually be late night streams. Late night as in EU late night. It will be probably evening time for NA, I believe. And, you can distinguish from your zone there. But no, it really does switch up. But that is that is what I'm going for at the moment. Some late night leveling and, just doing some arenas before that and battlegrounds just before the leveling, stuff like that. Do switch up sometimes, but it's very rare. At the moment, I'm in that sort of phase. I just want to chill at night and, do some PvP and zug in the afternoon in some arenas. Another great question that came in, actually, and this is one that I want to address quite early on, is do I play other games? So I do. I have a large range of games that I play. With regards to Blizzard games, I've played Overwatch, I've played Heroes of the Storm, I've played, oh my god, there's others, Hearthstone, and Diablo. Diablo's a really good one. I do enjoy Diablo, and I believe that's the main ones. I played a bit of, or I'm looking to play StarCraft because it's very much a Red Alert Warhammer type game, I believe, where you build like your little base and stuff like that. So I'm looking to download that and give that a try. But I do play other games outside of Blizzard. These ones are a bit more niche, very niche, and they're very much nostalgic games. They're just very chilled out games. It's not as intense as any of the Blizzard games like Overwatch, where you're constantly in a fight, or WoW, where you're doing arenas, you're constantly having to grind gear or, farm conquest, stuff like that. So I do play other games, but I mainly stick to the Blizzard games, and WoW is very much my go-to at the moment in terms of Blizzard games. I did have a phase where I was playing a lot of Overwatch. Instead of WoW, you sort of take a break from WoW, you step back a little bit every now and again. Well, I personally do, and I'll come back to it a few weeks later or whatever. Like, I'd still be playing every now and again, like every other night, every few days or something, but then I'd really get back into WoW and, find something else to do, have a different sort of system to what I said just a question ago. So I might just be doing Battlegrounds all day or something like that. But other games, yeah, very much to chill out and wind down after a long day or something. It's very much, calming games rather than the hectic zug of charging in as a warrior, pressing all of your cooldowns, maybe dying, maybe not, that kind of thing. And this one is it's going to be a tough question to answer, but I'll do my best. Why do I play WoW? And the answer is, I don't know specifically. Now, there's multiple reasons, I think, anyway, but I play WoW to relax, even though it doesn't sound like I'm relaxing when I'm playing. If I get pissed off in a battleground or something, or not a battleground, in an arena, it might not sound like I'm relaxing, but I am relaxed. I do enjoy myself when playing arena. I just sit there after I've been one shot and I just laugh. There's times where I literally just sit there, look at it, and I just think, what can you do? I've had many moments like that in, like, one-shotting people as well. I played a game with a warlock earlier today, and it was against a caster cleave, and I was the only melee. So I'm having to jump in and out, and it's just horrendous. I can't do anything over there. I can't overcommit because I'll die. I can't do anything, pretty much. And this warlock on the enemy team walks up like into the mid of the map and just gets one shot by my warlock. I wasn't even on the guy. I just everything in the arena just stopped. Everyone. They just stopped and thought, what? Our healer even said, why did they surrender the game? He didn't even notice the warlock was dead. Like, that's how quickly he just 100-0. It was hilarious. It was great. I did another game before that one where I was with Monk, and we went to kill the healer, the disc priest. Actually, it was a holy priest, and he flew up into the air where you can't get him, obviously. But we leg swept the hunter and the druid, and we just cleaved them. We just cleaved them and killed them both while the priest was still up in the air. It was absolutely quality. They died in about 3 seconds, just about like a blade storm and a spinning crane kick. It was really entertaining. It was really good fun. And this is probably why I play WoW, to be honest, because it's enjoyable. Even though sometimes it might not be enjoyable, it still is. And there's a lot of stuff that you can do in WoW that you weren't doing that was annoying you. So you could be doing arenas and you get annoyed at arenas and think this is the worst game ever, and then you could go to Mythic Dungeons or something and just chill out in Mythics. There's always something that you can do and something else that you can look for when playing WoW. I mean, you've got 3 World of Warcrafts at the moment. You have Season of Mastery, you have Burning Crusade, and you have Retail. Now, very much my schedule is, arenas and stuff like that on Retail, and then just chill out on Burning Crusade or Season of Mastery. So it's very much relaxed and something like that. There's something for everyone, and this is why I play WoW. To have fun, to lose myself in the game. The world that they have created is amazing. The music, the ambience, or whatever it's called, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Ambience? You know what I mean. The entire world that they've created is amazing. I could list off every single zone, pretty much. Mostly. I'll say mostly. This is kind of a nerdy thing, but I could probably list off like most zones, what expansion it is. If you've ever played WoW Geography or WoW GeoGuessr, that's always fun. I actually play that from time to time, and it just picks a random place in World of Warcraft, and that's it. You have to guess where in WoW it is, and I can get it 9 times out of 50. Wait, that's really bad. 49 times out of 50. There we go. That's a lot better. 9 times out of 50 is pretty shit. I lose myself in the game, and that's why I play WoW, because I want to be lost in the game. I want games that drag me into their world and their reality and just keep me there for a bit. That's the truth of it. That is the truth of it. And I chose WoW because it's a game that I know very much so. I know quite a bit about. I don't know everything because I'm just not that smart. I'm just not that smart in terms of game knowledge. I know a fair amount. I know a very fair amount in the game, but if you're looking at more niche things, I can probably grasp them within a couple minutes, but I might not know it off the top of my head. That's the kind of thing. But I play WoW to have fun and lose myself. That's how I'm going to answer that question, definitely. And the last question for this week, again, these are different episodes that I want to do. I want to incorporate them maybe every month, every other month, stuff like that. And I want to start incorporating questions, more specific questions in each and every podcast. So maybe just something to do with, I don't know, conduits from Shadowlands, or what specialization is sort of on the top tier of PvP at the moment, that kind of thing. So, I could do many questions, and I would definitely be up for putting them all in. But the last question for this one is, which WoW do I prefer? So what they mean by this question, obviously, is which World of Warcraft do I prefer out of Season of Mastery, Burning Crusade Classic, and Retail? Now, they all have their likeable sides, and they all have their hated sides to them. So, Season of Mastery is classic. It's classic. It's pretty much, yeah. You get a bit more XP, a few things have changed here and there, but it is World of Warcraft Classic again. And I've done that. I know that I've done that. And it's very much I want to say it's more like a vacation home at this point. If I want to just chill out and level on that server that I am on, I will do. It's very relaxed for me. It's no pressure at all. I don't feel like I'm invested in it. And that's quite nice. That's quite nice to be detached from a World of Warcraft game for once. Because in retail, I've always been invested in my characters. I've always thought, okay, I need to gear this character. In TBC Classic, I've always thought, okay, I need to gear this character. I just leveled I'm leveling a shaman at the moment in TBC, and I'm thinking already, okay, I need to find, a Karazhan, I need to find a Gruul, a Magtheridon, like raid and stuff like that. Whereas Season of Mastery, there's no expectation for me. I just think, I'll just maybe get a level every week or something. I'll just, it could be fun and stuff like that. It's very much if I've got super downtime and I'm very bored or something. And it's very nice to have that. It's really nice to have that sort of World of Warcraft experience. So I would definitely say Season of Mastery is my third choice out of the three. And currently I would go with Retail as my top pick. Now, this is mainly because I'm a PvPer. I very much enjoy PvP content over PvE. I prefer just arenas and battlegrounds over raiding and dungeons. It's a very simple way to put it. And I prefer the arenas that are on Retail compared to TBC. They are more refined. They are more 5D chess than what, TBC arenas are. And that's where I find the enjoyment, where you have to outplay your opponent. Now, let's face it, you outplay your opponent in TBC as well, but you're more favoured in certain matchups, which is the same for Retail, but you have more of a chance in Retail. It's more of an even playing field sometimes. You know what to expect, and, it's fun. You have the cooldowns to stop their cooldowns, and you have the cooldowns to make them scared as well. It's not just, well, if you're a warrior coming up against a mage, chances are 90% of the time that mage is going to win. It's, it's just matter of fact. It's like, okay, this is a ret paladin. He can die in one hit, or he can one-shot you. That's where the fun is. Who knows who's getting one shot? It's going to be great. So I would definitely put Retail at the top at the moment. It's not been the best expansion, Shadowlands. Now, I will admit that. It's coming off of Battle for Azeroth, it's kind of meh. We needed something big. We needed a Legion expansion, but we haven't got that. We got a Warlords of Draenor-ish kind of expansion, where it's a little bit lack of content, stuff like that. But I do like where PvP is. I like how hectic and explosive it can be. And I certainly like that style over the 20-minute arena games where you get dampened and stuff like that. I'm not too sure about the trinkets that they're putting in the next patch and stuff like that, but we'll see. We'll see where that leads. I like the hectic style, though, of the arenas, and that's where it gets it for me. Again, TBC is very hectic in terms of arenas as well. So they're very similar, but I just like how more refined it is on Retail. Don't get me wrong, I love TBC Classic. TBC Classic is great. I can sit down, I can look at my characters that I've put effort into, and I can admire them. I can admire the gold making on TBC Classic. I can admire the professions on TBC Classic and how useful they can be to different classes, different specs in a raid environment. I can admire all of that. But I just prefer the PvP on Retail. That's what it comes down to for me. How is the PvP sort of sitting in each of these expansions? So that will end it for this week. Thank you all very much for listening. Like I said, these things I want to do. The Q&As I definitely want to do maybe every month, every other month. And I want to start throwing in some questions weekly, which get thrown in at me, maybe more specifically, like I said, what conduits to pick, what I think are the best sort of classes right now in PvP, maybe PvE, all of that good stuff. But no, it's all good fun, and I love answering these questions. It gets me, it lets you guys know me a bit more, and that's all I want, really. I want to express my love for the game and the world that that people have created, and share that with you guys. Like, I know it's not the best time for Blizzard, I will say that. Definitely not the best time for Blizzard. But I can't go against the world that they have created and just how that makes me feel since I started playing the game to now. It makes me feel the same seeing it. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode. Be sure to check out the Pig and Whistle Patreon for a weekly podcast on there, as well as many other perks. Be sure to check out the Twitch and all of the social medias. They can be found in the links below. We stream regularly on Twitch, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Thank you all very much for listening, and go with Valor, friend. Goodbye all.